Everybody ready?
Yes.
Everybody.
We must be one.
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 Welcome to the Hughes Round Table.
Everybody.
I'm Michael Hughes.
I'm Michaela Hughes.
I'm Nina Hughes.
Welcome, y'all. We done moved into videos. We're shooting videos now, and if you're listening to us as a subscriber, you can watch us now. We're moving into videos and shooting videos now. What we're going to do is when we do phone interviews, we'll go back to audio only.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, we're going to branch out into shooting videos. Our first video.
Our first video.
Our first video.
And we decided, y'all, to talk about our visit to Puerto Rico. San Juan.
Yes.
That's what we decided to talk about, and how when we were there, it was so beautiful. I fell asleep. I fell asleep. I couldn't even help myself. I fell in the trade winds, and we'll have video of the trip on there. But we had to put that on there, especially when we got a podcaster that Michaela contacted, who is a comedian and who was a lawyer. He's from Puerto Rico, and I don't even want to butcher his name, but his first full name, I don't even want to butcher it, so I'm gonna just call him. His name is Eli Castro, and he responded and showed us some love and talked about us on his podcast. It's called the Eli Castro Show, and he's a Puerto Rican comedian, and he is funny. If y'all have a chance, just you can catch him on YouTube and Apple Podcast. And we wanted to pay tribute to him and let him know that we have been to Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Man, that was it was so eye-opening when we went there. Mind-blowing. We had a good time. We had a good time. Stayed in La Concha, right?
Yes, La Concha.
La Concha for about 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
This happened after Michaela had graduated from high school, and we took a boss move. By
Boss move.
We did a boss move. Been a long time since we've been out of the United States, but not out of the United States. We know that Puerto Rico is a commonwealth. And we will be returning there.
Absolutely.
We're going to be returning to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
One of the things that we loved about it, it was just so open, and it was free. And we did a lot of walking around.
Yes, we did.
We traveled to the mall and all of that. But, mind you, this was 4 years ago, going on 5. Yeah. Going on 5 years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's going 5 years.
And we wanted to just talk about that. And we didn't visit all. Matter of fact, we really didn't visit Puerto Rico real good. We didn't go in depth
Into the culture of Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Not really. We didn't go to all their, I don't even really know the rest. I just know San Juan and all of that. But I think this is one of the pivotal moments in our lives that really solidified the God in us. I think especially the one moment that we had when all three of us was sitting, standing. We was walking, and we kept on walking.
Yeah.
Remember that, Nina?
Mm-hmm.
And what did you take out of that?
We were in the downtown area. I know we had passed the hospital, so we were kind of a little bit out of the ways of the tourist area. Just a small bit. That probably might have been the only area that we were really in that wasn't the tourist area. but we just kept walking, and you could hear the water the whole time. So we kept going. We were walking, just looking around, and we started going towards where the water was.
Right.
And once we got to that area, and it was a nice area.
Oh yeah.
Considering we were out of the tourist area, because sometimes you have to be careful when you're traveling and you don't stay in the areas where are where the guests come. If
which I never do. I normally no. I branch
New
out.
York,
We was
I got
like,
to
oh,
see.
we got to stop right.
Oh, I don't. If as far as I can walk, I walk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I just get on. What could I mean? I be cautious and all of that, but I mean that's what I came to do. Came to see it.
Yeah.
And I like to walk
Mm-hmm.
since I walk for a living anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that was after we ate.
Yeah.
It was.
That
It
was our
after
last day there.
Yeah, it was our last day there.
We had checked out.
Y'all act like y'all ain't want to leave.
Shoot, you like to.
It was
I
hot though
lived
too.
there in a
But
heartbeat. It was hot.
It was hot, but it wasn't.
It was a cool hot.
It's the trade winds. That's a different kind of hot.
Ooh, that trade winds knocked me out.
Because even after getting out of the pool and we left and went across the street and we went to go eat, but you dried quickly.
Yeah.
Because of the wind and the combination of the two together is just, it's not a Ohio type of heat because you had that.
Right by
and
the
it's
water.
so relaxing. That's why
Yeah.
you went to sleep. Found you a little spot
Yeah.
and said, I'm just going to sit right here and enjoy. But that particular walk that took us where we just stood and listened and just watched.
You forgot about
you
the
could
man.
just, oh, no, that was, we
Who
hadn't
was the
even
pastor?
left from the area at that time. We were still where
That was
we
the
were
same
up a
time the
little-
water though.
a
We had
little
walked
ways up from the
above
hotel.
the hotel. Yeah, we had walked. We was headed
Yeah.
towards that.
Yeah, he was a native, but he had left.
No, not that one.
Who are you talking about?
As
The
we kept,
pastor.
yeah, the
The
pastor,
pastor that we
who was doing a conference there.
and he told us to go see. They have a famous waterfall there.
Yeah, he was naming all
He
kind of
was-
other.
Yeah, he was the adventurous type.
Yeah,
He was into like waterfalls and zip
you don't
lining
remember
and
him?
stuff like that.
He had a bald head.
Mm-mm.
He was so nice. He was
Yeah,
so
he was a nice guy.
No,
Where was you
I
at?
don't remember him. I don't know.
I remember
Probably
him.
caught up in the water.
You remember him?
Yes, because
And
I
he
think
said
he
that,
was, he comes out there a lot.
Yeah,
like every year or something.
he comes out there a lot and does a lot of, he was kind of like an evangelist, and talking about, and you never know, as we know that sometimes you could be entertaining angels.
Yeah.
But after that, that's why I remember it. After that, that's when the moment happened. When we all just we moved towards the water as far as we could get, as close as we could get, and it was complete silence because we was standing in awe, and we knew that the presence of the Lord between us three was right there, and we couldn't move. Neither one of us could move, and we just stood there. And whatever kind of troubles we had or reservations that we didn't want to go back to what we was going back to or dealing, because that's what we do when we go to these different cities and states and countries. We want to see if we could live there.
Yes.
Yes.
Not that we're running from Columbus, Ohio, but we are running. We just want something different. You don't have to stay here the whole year. There's in the business that I do, a mailman, they got a lot of snowbirds. People be gone from November to April or stuff like that, and I'm all for that. As much as I can be adventurous. But that moment right there is the stuff that make you believe that there is no way that there is not a living Savior. There's no way.
No way.
When you look, and we'll have a video of the body of water, which me and Michaela was talking about a couple days ago, wondering what ocean that was.
Yeah, we had to figure that out.
We had
He
to figure
guessed
it-
right though.
Yeah,
He guessed right the
it
first
was
time.
the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
And it's two that combine together with that. Remember they had the red
Indian
flags out
Atlantic.
all the time?
Yeah,
Because
it was a high tide.
we said, the guy told us, he said when you go to a different area of Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
Mhm.
where the water, he
On the
said,
other
is
side.
calm.
Mhm.
He said because two are joining right there. Because every day we kept coming out, I said, how? Because when you and Michaela got in the water, the
Mhm.
waves were up to your chest. And I said, why is the red flag out all the time? Well, the flag was never going to be put in because the waters are joining together.
What water?
And that, whatever you,
Atlantic and
The Gulf. I mean, it can't.
I'm not
We're
gonna sit
east,
here and be wrong.
and it's
either
the Atlantic.
and it can't be Indian
No, no,
because
no,
that's
no, 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 no.
by
no.
India.
No.
The other, it could only be the Gulf
Or the
or the
Pacific.
Pacific, but that's on the other side,
Yeah, that's on the other
so it
side.
has to be the Gulf. But
Yeah.
I remember that because the water was crazy for the
it
first.
was crazy.
few
It was like a
days.
storm was coming. It was going so bad.
I forgot
tide.
about that.
But he said that
pretty.
if you go, that the sands were pure white like
Mhm.
sugar,
Mm-hmm.
and that the water was calm, where you didn't have
Mhm.
all the waves and stuff going like that. And that was where I think there was only one hotel,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't touristy. He
Oh,
said
over
that
there.
was actually, he said, go to the real Puerto
Yeah,
Rico.
A lot of people would say that, and we didn't really experience the food, the culture of the food.
Mm-mm.
Yvette did, because let's forget.
Yeah,
Let's
we
not forget.
did. That.
We did have our cousin Yvette, who we
Yes.
always go in places. Well, we always go to DC to see her, Yvette Russell. We was all together, you know. She did eat, but we didn't
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
have.
when we went to that restaurant.
Yeah, the one that was like
I don't even
across the
remember the
street.
name
That was
of it.
open. I
It
don't
was
know what that
something
was. It was
It's
open
By
open
all
Whole Foods.
night.
There was a Whole Foods there too.
Mhm.
But we wasn't.
Yeah.
We hadn't even started eating at Whole Foods yet, or
At the
shopping at Whole
time.
Foods.
Mm-mm. No, not at that time.
No.
We hadn't.
No, I don't know
No.
what we thought about that back then. I don't know what we thought about that back then. And when then we went to the mall.
Oh,
It
the
was a mall right
I
there.
forgot about the mall.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa!
Jeez, that I don't think I've
Do
seen
y'all
a bigger
remember
one.
going to the fort?
Mm-hmm.
Was y'all
did.
there? Period. Or was I by myself? I know that was 5 years ago.
No,
But
we
you
was
know.
there. We did a lot of walking there too.
Mm-hmm.
The fort, because that's where where we got to see where the ships actually come in, and
Yeah.
if you're doing
That
a
was
trip
nice.
on the,
Yeah.
you get to see
Yeah.
where they dock at and
That
how
was
they get to
historic
go
site.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're gonna intertwine that trip into the video, and you'll see our cousin Yvette. I don't think we got to get permission from her to do that. Yvette,
She's all for it.
Yeah, we're gonna put her in there,
Mhm.
and Michaela in her white hat, and Nina. And when y'all was dressed alike, I don't
Mm-mm.
understand what's going on.
We wanted to
they
wear white. We
they
wanted to
that's a big port there, so
Mm-hmm.
it's a big port. So a lot of big cruise ships port there, and the people get off. So that's why that old San Lorenzo, that's in California. Old San Juan is put there, right there. And we thought that this would be a good subject to talk about as we shoot our first video.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Beautiful culture from what we got to see.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
from what we got to see, and they don't do a lot of sleeping there either.
And
It was a
busy
lot of-
people.
Because that restaurant was late night when
And
we were
it's
at that
hot there.
restaurant.
So
Yeah, she was
they'll-
eating stew or something.
Who?
Yvette was.
I
It was
remember
they
that.
I was getting ready to say
combined-
jollof, but that's we in a different we in a
Africa.
different yeah.
Yeah.
That stew was like a whole piece of corn, a half a potato,
Mm.
all kinds of vegetables, pork, chicken.
It was
I was like,
everything mixed
it was
up.
a type of food you don't eat
But that's
in the
Yvette
heat
though.
of the summer.
Yvette gonna try. She gonna try her
yeah.
thing. Yvette is going, and she'll get this in this video, and she'll know. Yvette is full of life.
Yeah.
And she is not going to waste 1 minute of enjoying herself
Yeah.
where
That's
she
true.
go. She probably could move there and won't have no problem.
Oh no.
She's getting ready to move to Vegas from D.C. So the stuff she does doesn't surprise me because that's Yvette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Yvette does, man. She lives her life to the fullest and she takes in the whole culture.
Anything
That's
that
our girl.
if she cannot, if it's a possibility that I may miss something while I'm there, I'm going to get the fullness of whatever I can while I'm there.
Yeah.
So I can tell you what all I did on my trip now.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to do this, that, and the other, and I didn't have an opportunity to, but this is what I did do.
But I don't think she take a lot of pictures though, do she? With her
No,
phone and
she
stuff
be in
like
the heat of
that.
the moment.
I don't think she
just
do
lets
stuff
the
like
moment
that.
happen.
Yeah.
Let us know, Yvette, when you hear this podcast, text us and let us know. You know, she in D.C. She lives in D.C. right now, but come April, she'll be moving to Vegas. But let us know when you hear this. Text us and let us know if you. I don't think she do though.
No,
I
I
don't
don't remember
ever
her
see
doing
her.
that while we were there, except for when we
cell
did go to
phones
the
was
port.
out.
Yes,
But were they doing that back then though yet?
yes. Oh,
Not
the
like they
selfie.
Well,
are
the
now.
photos that
That
I
is
took of
bad.
her, she said take those. So it just depends, I guess.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
But because she traveled in the past by herself, you know, a lot going to Europe and different places because
Yeah.
other people didn't have the opportunity or the vacation time
Yeah.
or the money to be able to do it. So she said, well, I said I was going, so
Mhm.
goodbye, I'm going.
Goodbye,
So
yeah.
she's done that, you know, a
Yeah.
couple of times. So
So that water, we found out that it's the Atlantic Ocean, the Caribbean Sea, and the Gulf of Mexico, and all of that Dominican, Haiti, Virgin Islands,
All the
Bahamas,
Jamaica, all the
Florida.
areas.
They all mixed up in together, and I love it, and I will go to all of them.
I would too.
I be island hopping like no other about this.
I would
But you
go
know,
all of them.
one of the things is a Caribbean cruise, which it just floors me, and it floors other people too. We have never been on a cruise.
I know.
It's
we have never
crazy.
been
Would you
on
go?
a cruise.
Would you go?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't.
I don't think I want to be.
Where Michael Hughes at? Because you know, two things. I like boats and I love the water.
You like
So,
boats?
I do. I like boats.
I think that's the only thing that would bother me. Because how long do cruises last?
They do long ones now, but they used to do like 3 or 4 days. But a
Yeah.
lot of
Oh,
people
that's
do
not
5,
long.
7 days for a first time. 3 or 4 would be good.
But
Yeah,
you
three or
get
four would
on
be
and
good.
off though. For some of
Yeah,
like
you get on and
yeah,
off.
you get on and off.
Yeah.
See,
That's
that's
not
the
bad,
part that I.
then.
But it's
wouldn't
like you.
like.
It's like you on a building. It's
I
like you in a
know.
house.
They be
really.
having pools on the boat, all types of restaurants and
Right. But
They
some
live
people
there.
get
Some
nauseous.
never leave.
They get nauseous. They
Yeah.
get their belly aching and everything. They get belly and they can't take it, you know. But I would love to have a port side, which is the window side that you can see out. And depending on the amount of money you want to spend, shoot, the better cabin you have, you
Mhm.
know.
That's
Mhm.
true.
And then you have to decide if wherever you're going, are you going to spend more time on the boat or are you going to spend time off visiting where you're
People
going?
do be
Because
getting lost on those
you
things.
have to be back when
Mm.
That's
they
the
get ready to
thing.
leave. See, that's
that
what
boat
be
will
my
leave
problem.
you.
Like, I just got into this real good. It's like, oh, it's time to go.
And then you
So
like
have to be
stay
back
on the island for like a
for
day,
a few hours or whatever.
and then you go
they
to
give you
the
time to
next-
go
another
visit.
island.
and
Well, you
get
got to
back
be
on it.
responsible. You
Yeah.
have to get back. You
Mhm.
can't be getting all lost. And for your first time ever on a cruise, I'm thinking you should, you know, you shouldn't wander off too far anyway, because you got to know, because you
Get
don't
back
know,
to the boat.
you don't
You
know
don't know
the
where you're
areas
at.
you in.
Mm-mm.
You know, you don't know the areas
That's
because right where
crazy.
they port at, that's where everything is anyway, compared to
That's smart.
San Juan anyway.
Yeah.
You
They
know,
had this
Mm.
shopping there and restaurants. So
Mhm.
it's set up to bring money to that particular area.
Yeah.
That's why they dock where
Yeah.
they dock at. But
yeah. And that was the first time I've ever seen that. I mean, of course we wouldn't because we've never been on a cruise, but that was the first time I seen a cruise boat that big.
That ship was
because
huge.
We ain't never, that's why, in our golden years, we gon' do some traveling, because we've been doing what we've been doing for so long. We are getting too old to just travel by car anymore.
Yeah, we don't.
Because we used to take 6 hours. 3 is tops now. Ain't nobody taking no 6 hours. If it takes 6 hours, I don't think we'll ever drive to D.C. again like we used to do that faithfully at least 2 or 3 times a year.
Easily. Yeah.
We did a whirlwind tour. One time went to D.C. by way of Virginia, Savannah, Georgia, Augusta, Georgia, all through the Carolinas to Atlanta, Georgia, and drove back.
That was
all in about a week or two.
Yeah.
I think that was about a week or two, and nah, ain't nobody doing that no more. That's we don't have to.
Would you ever snowbird? Like, would you ever go to Florida?
Snowbird? Oh
or,
yeah.
Where other places people go to Arizona?
Oh yeah.
I don't know what's really out there besides
Arizona,
that it's
Florida.
hot for the winter.
Yeah, all the southern states, but most of them is Florida because of the taxes, and it's closer to Ohio, I don't get that many snowbirds any place else but Florida because it's the closest to Ohio. You don't get Arizona, that's too far, and California's too far, and ain't nobody snowbirding in the east. Now I do got one couple that snowbirds to Colorado.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
So I think they either got a business there or a cabin or something like that. Yeah, I do got one. Matter of fact, I think they're back now. So they flip off and stuff like that. And I think they do a lot of skiing and stuff like that. But when you retire, you can go if you ain't pressed for time, that instance right there with I took that trip all in. I remember it even because as much as we've been to D.C., we ain't really never been to Baltimore. We have never really, matter of fact, we ain't even flew into Baltimore. But that's what we did to go to Puerto Rico. We flew into Baltimore and back and forth.
Where did we fly into when we went to, we must have flew into Reagan. When we went to Puerto Rico.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
We either flew into Reagan, or we flew into Reagan and then went to Baltimore, flew out of Baltimore to get to Puerto Rico, and we came back the same way. And we flew out of D.C. because Tommy, matter of fact, I think we flew from Baltimore back to Ohio because Tommy took us, remember?
Yes. Tommy
is Yvette's son, summa cum laude buoy, right? No. We cracking up. Big Tommy Jr. Yep, so he gonna be talking. This is turning into a D.C. by way of Puerto Rico
that's what it
straight
was.
Podcast now.
That's what it was.
Yep. So we had a good time in Carrie and Chelsea. They took us to that restaurant was off the hook.
Oh, those restaurants there. Ooh.
I remember that.
I don't even think, what's going on? Am I was the only one there?
No. I remember
I bought me a nice suit up in there.
That
too.
was right around the corner from the hotel where we stayed
Crowded.
at. I was in there. Yeah, it was a lot going on that weekend.
Silver Springs.
Silver Springs, Maryland.
We stayed in Silver Springs, Maryland, and they had it going on. They cut off. They basically had a block party. And we ate right there and went into, I can't even remember the name of that store. But we went in, I got that suit from.
Oh, I don't know.
Nice suit from.
Because I don't think that mall is even open anymore.
It ain't.
I don't think so. That's where the
But they had two malls.
They
had 2 malls there. Because remember all those people were across the street from there? They were all out right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I know some of those places were closing when we were there, was closing down.
Yeah.
That was one of Yvette's favorite spots.
I hope we making y'all want to move and groove and
go travel.
and go travel and that's the purpose. man, get out and see other culture, the other people. That was nice. That was
Fun
nice.
and relaxation.
As a matter of fact, we walked at night to 7-Eleven. Remember that?
Yes.
We walked at night to 7-Eleven in D.C. Either, I don't think that was when we got back. Was it?
It was before
we left.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
And we passed some African. They were either, I don't know what kind of African.
Yeah, I remember
that. Because
strip.
Silver Springs ain't too far from Howard University.
Not at all.
It's not.
It ain't. It ain't too far from Howard University.
Very ethnic there.
Yeah.
Whole lot
Yes.
of cultures mixed in
A
that
whole
area.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Right there in
mixed.
that area right there. It didn't used to
Yeah.
be that way. When we first started going down there in like the early 90s, Silver Springs hadn't got built up real good like that. You know, but as we kept going back, they got malls. It was like, this thing that blew up.
It did.
Kept going back. They got malls. People, it was almost like Easton, but bigger. It's
Mhm.
bigger than Easton.
Mm-hmm.
Is that little area? It's like they just say they would shut down Morris Road. We in Columbus, Ohio, y'all. Morris Road and Stelzer and what's that road right there? It ain't McCutcheon.
Sunbury?
Stelzer,
Oh.
Morris Road. It's parallel to Morris Road. Whatever road that is, we get off to go to Easton. They shut that whole block off right there. You know, if you include the malls and the eats and everything else like that, you know.
Good travel. Good travel.
Mhm.
And it was. So we hit two places
Mm-hmm.
in Puerto Rico at the same time.
Fun and
Yeah.
relaxation.
Go
Yeah.
visit places where the buildings are different colors.
Yeah.
All pretty colors. No building is the same color.
No.
That's what I love most about the
Looks like you
Latin
kind of side
America.
eyeing a little bit.
Because I don't understand why everything has to be the same color. You get like 8 options for what color your house can be. Everywhere else, there are no options.
But are you side eyeing?
I don't know why we have to do that.
There you
but
go.
Every place.
I caught Michaela side eyeing. I know why
Because
she
every-
is.
It's like
Costa Rica was colorful like that, wasn't it?
people had houses that were pink, orange,
that's
red.
why.
But it's a cultural thing.
Mm-hmm. They love
But
color.
it's so uniform here, and they're all in all Latin America, all of the Hispanic cultures. Everything's different colors. There's no limit.
Even here, Miami.
yeah,
and
they
all
don't
of that.
care. It's
At least
they're
that's what I see on
colorful.
TV. Because I ain't never been there. And
Yeah.
I'm going there too.
It's all crazy types of colors, and it speaks loudly to their culture. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Gotta go see it.
Yeah.
So that was our Puerto Rican trip, y'all.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. We had that one moment where we stood at now we know the in between the Atlantic, the Caribbean, and the Gulf of Mexico, and just looked out, and who knew? And looked out on that big body of water, and just was floored. And the tide was high that day.
Mm-hmm.
The tide was very
It was
high
high.
that
It was
day.
high.
That's what made it.
And you know, we're not tall people. So if we stood up, y'all would know. So we're not tall people. So, but we stood on the edge of the barge, they call it,
Mm-hmm.
and we all just stood there in complete silence for about at least a minute, and that's a long time, if not more than that.
It seemed like it might have been longer than a minute.
Yeah, if not more than that, and and we just let the spirit of that time just wash over us, and it was mind blowing. After we talked to that pastor, who I don't even remember what he was doing down there, but I know that he was doing some kind of evangelism at a conference there. Yeah, he was doing something there, and then he was telling us all those places to go, and he left, and we took that all in, because we never discount any time that we catch on to somebody that will impart something in us. You know, we always be open like that, no matter what we are.
Yeah.
So thank y'all.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank y'all. I hope y'all enjoy this little. This is a short time, but this is what we'll be doing, right, Nina?
Yes, this is what we'll be doing. So now we are doing audio and video.
Yeah.
And you know that you can catch us on the Hughes Roundtable, youtube.com. And then we appreciate you so much for listening.
Yeah.
And those that are subscribing, we surely appreciate you doing that.
Yeah.
And we hope that you'll remember to continue to enjoy what it is that we're loading and get inspiration. Know that you are a fighter and that you're an overcomer. And just enjoy life. Enjoy life. And take a step back as we were talking about traveling. Because all the worries of the world will still be where they are when you return.
Right.
So take a break every now and then.
Take a break.
And enjoy relaxation.
Enjoy relaxation. Now, if you listen to this, just flip it over and start watching. Because this isn't an audio. You know, they've been listening. Then all of a sudden, she side-eyed and still. Because Michaela, I wasn't going to say this, but Michaela don't want to look straight into the camera.
She been looking.
She been playing.
It. She'll have to edit herself.
Ain't that about it? No, I should make her leave it in here.
Sticking out her tongue and carrying on.
For real?
Don't want to be bothered with the camera. That was in the very beginning. She gonna be editing a whole bunch of stuff because I've been over here giving festive.
This is what I'm talking about with
you gotta add.
They talk more and more about giving folk the mic, and then when you know,
she was doing all right. Microphone that don't. I'm on camera.
You gotta
now.
add
Look
Festivus.
Get me.
Festivus for the rest of us.
this was fun already. So this is y'all can see what's gonna come. You know, I don't know what I'm talking about. I ain't looked into that booger yet. I ain't looked completely into there because I'm concentrating. I'm focusing, man. I'm focusing on my thing. Y'all, thank y'all. We appreciate y'all subscribing. Now y'all can watch us, and we hope that because we all about hope and putting it in parting, and sharing and talking about what we do, and I hope y'all take in that very moment that if you can stop your mind and take in and be open enough to experience something that's awesome and that is bigger than you.
Yes.
That's why I love all kinds of big bodies of water. Y'all take care out there.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Everybody ready?
Yes.
Everybody.
We must be one.
Everybody.
We must be one.